It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside Lumen Field on your standard rain-filled afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Today we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Ochinowosu in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. He's got his target. That's complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Commanders march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Smith. This one goes underneath to Walker. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to have a 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St. Juste. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
They'll run with Robinson. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside to 5 to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Brings up second and goal at the Seahawks 3-yard line.
Robinson again. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. With his 11th touchdown on the ground, number 13 overall. And the Commanders have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Smith. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And Metcalf going to have the Seahawks first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Walker now at first and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. You talk about this Washington defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And Walker has it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 38-yard line.
5 yards on the play.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's second and 10.
Hey, it's a clip. Daytona.
The slot man in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Geno. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. D. Eskridge, 35 yards. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make our score 14-7. touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. Here's Antonio Gibson taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Washington will take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Powell. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. You talk about this Seahawk defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. This is a perfect example of what separates the elite quarterbacks. Has his man open, way too anxious, ends up firing it in there with way too much zip on it. The great ones, they know how to relax and put the appropriate velocity on the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
2nd and 10. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Powell now to throw it. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Returnable for Lockett. Tyler Lockett. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Pretty entertaining start. 14 all the score on EA Sports. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun on 3rd down, Howell. That pass caught by McLaurin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Robinson up the middle. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks' 40-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Third and 1. Hal's going to throw it. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Tough conditions out there. I don't know if the defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got momentum on their side. They were once down 14-0. Now it's even at 14 as they look to put together a drive to get them the lead. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Taken right around the 44. Now he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Out left to Dotson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A give up the middle to Gibson. Room here to run. That good for 19 and a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And Howell will throw it. To the left side, there's the tight end Musgrave. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Robinson is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now they send a man in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jahan Dotson, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
Coming out of the end zone, D. Eskridge. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it for... Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Sly on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Seahawks 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. This is Fant on the short completion. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Smith here, an audible at the line.
At the 29-yard line.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. So nothing doing there. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th. Smith. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! Curtis Samuel. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Here's Moore. He will return it. Oh, a good-looking return setup here. And he'll be out of bounds at midfield, so a solid return to the 50.
After return to midfield, I just wish we could open up the heads of the offensive and defensive coordinators, because right now the wheels have to be spinning because things just changed. Offensive playbook just opens up, and now on defense, do you play aggressively or do you lay back a little bit to try and calm things down?
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to get the football back at their own 17.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here we go. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead,
But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
2nd and 5. Faking the handoff. Howell. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Howell. That one downfield for Dotson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final shot here before break. Smith. And this one's incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
At the Commanders' 44-yard line.
From the gun, here's Smith. And he rifles one incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And now Smith going to change the play. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They snap it to Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it, but can't convert. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly, and knocked it free.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing here, Howell. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Smith. And complete to Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Ready. Hey, trio left.
Now it's Smith. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball
under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Smith's throw caught here by Metcalf. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected, but sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to, so sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
49, flip it off, 49.
Throwing now is Geno. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he's got it down to the 28. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Howell changing the play here. On 3rd down, Robinson. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Diggs on the tackle.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
This fielded right at the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Dwayne Eskridge. And he will score. Touchdown, Seahawks. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
Tuesday.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is going to get in there for the 2 points to make this a 12-point game. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Powell out of the shotgun. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Powell's throw taken in by Samuel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington 1st down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Number 4, Curtis Samuel. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 22-yard line.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 6. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, a 22-yard scamper. And the Commanders add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. 23 yards, the final tally.
That's good for a Seattle Seahawks.
Now Geno. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Check 59, check 59, cover.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
Check 58.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Boye Mafe got through the line like a knife through butter. He buries him for a loss. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Tariq Woolen with a great play to get him for a loss.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quadre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Intercepted. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Smith. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Jack's left.
Straight ahead, Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Play action. It's Smith. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes.
And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter. And that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear